I just want to introduce you to my new cup. His name is Buzz because more often than not, he'll be filled with alcohol. Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Elizabeth and I am an experimental writer. I have recently realized about myself. Every book that I've written was never a straightforward story. It was never a third person straightforward story. I'll tell you what's going on, character development, all that. No, it had to do something different. Every single one of them had to have its own spin, I guess. And I'll leave the link to my books in the description below, so if you're interested, you can check it out. But that got me to thinking. I am in the process of writing another novel that hopefully will be out later this year. I'm excited about it. And I'm trying to do like a found footage type thing. So I'm getting interested in found footage. Now, I've always loved found footage in film as a genre, or a subgenre, I guess. Always loved it in film. And I want to try to do that in book form. So I've been getting into it lately, right? All genres of found footage I tend to love, not just horror, although I think that horror is the best genre, and that's just in my humble opinion. But the trouble is, found footage usually refers to film, and I'm not interested in the film side of it right now because I'm not a filmmaker. I'm a writer. So I'm interested in it in novel form. Now, we all know about the groundbreaking epistolary novels. And, oh, by the way, if you don't know what an epistolary novel is, it is a story told through letters, journal entries, diary entries, stuff like that. Books like Dracula and Go Ask Alice are epistolary novels. These books are some of the very first found footage you can find in fiction, which is awesome. But those are old hat, right? Everybody knows about those. I want to do something different, right? And although there are tons of books out there trying to do the found footage thing, I found a lot of bad ones, by the way. I'm not going to mention them here, but I have found a lot of bad ones. It's not quite what I'm looking for. I don't know if what I'm looking for even exists. I'm literally looking for the found footage film to be brought to paper so I can open the book, read, and be entertained, right? But the only book I've heard of, let alone read, that even comes remotely close to what I'm actually looking for, and is also not a supplemental like the Blair Witch Project dossier. I have that book, and it is exactly what I think found footage in a book should be, but that's a supplemental. You already know the story about that, so that's not quite what I'm looking for either. But what comes the closest is Kate Alice Marshall's Rules for Vanishing. That was a fun read. It's a horror book, but it wasn't really scary. That might be because it's written YA, so maybe that's why. But it's mixed media, and that felt like it lent more of what I was looking for to the overall story. But again, it wasn't quite there. But anyway, like my last video, this is not a review video. I'm not going to review Rules for Vanishing or anything like that. I am just putting my opinion out there on what I would like to see in this genre of book. And I don't even know if it's an actual genre outside of film, but you know what? I'm going to call it found fiction. Okay, for the purposes of this video, I know that found fiction is the name of an art collective, but that's not what I'm talking about either. Although I do kind of want to check them out. But anyway, I'm getting off topic. But this is what I think. I have two main rules, okay, of what I think is necessary in found footage fiction. As in book, not movie. Number 1, format. Okay, format is everything here, as we can see in books like Dracula and Go Ask Alice. But it has to be done right, right? For example, if you're going to write a series of journal entries and compile that into novel form, please don't use purple prose. No one really talks like that, especially to themselves. And in reality, journals are essentially the writer talking to themselves, right? That's how I think of it anyway. Journal entries, in my view, lend themselves to simple language, even short phrases that don't even make sense, that aren't even sentences, more like stream of consciousness. I believe that was Faulkner who did stream of consciousness. Feel free to correct me in the comments below if that is wrong. But that kind of thing, work with it and it will feel authentic, right? Also, if you're going to make use of mixed media, please make it make sense timeline-wise. Jumping back and forth in time gets really confusing, and it just makes me want to close the book, personally. Also, don't tell me about the news articles or the pictures that you have found. Please show me those news articles and pictures you have found. That's just rule number 1 of storytelling, right, guys? Show, don't tell. All right, that's my rant. Rant over. On to number 2, authenticity. This kind of goes along with number 1, but all right, let's just get into it. If you're going to do an epistolary novel, like we said, journal entries, diary, etc., the authenticity needs to be there. The novel, for example, Go Ask Alice, does this really well. There are entries in that book that are frustratingly mundane, slice of life shit that nobody really cares about, but those entries are necessary for character development that will essentially push the story forward. And authenticity of a real diary, because no one's life is always action-packed. Okay, I know mine isn't. I wish it was, but I don't think anybody's life is always action-packed. There are mostly everyday slice of life stuff. Yeah, right? I think so. You know, do the same with your novel. Just make sure that every entry that you include moves the overall story forward, and nothing is superfluous. I think I said that right. I don't know. And, you know, your reader won't be mad at you. Everything needs, or rather, not everything needs to be action-packed to keep a reader interested. But everything does have to feel legit in the context of someone's life. So that was it. Pretty quick video, guys. Those were my 2 rules for found footage in novel form. And that's all I have. So yeah, I think these are the 2 most important things I think of when I think found footage in book form anyway. If you have other ideas, what you think is important in found footage, please leave those ideas in the comments down below. Excuse me. I would love to see more found footage in book form. Personally, it is one of my favorite subgenres. In the next video, I think I'm going to continue with this because I'm really on a found footage kick these past few weeks. But I want to talk about creating your own myths and legends. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be cool. And anyway, that was all I had for today. Love you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.